How's it going, guys? Got that third game in the best of three series between Black versus Tidus for the Warpstone Cup. Black playing the Dark Elves up against the Greenskins. For those who haven't watched the other two matches between these two players, I do recommend checking them out. The first one, may make you think, how did this game even end up at game three? Well, do check out game two. That was a fantastic game and probably the best game I've casted so far, at least for the Warpstone Cup. But nonetheless, let's get down to the game. We got Blaquenyte on Dark Elves. Now, this is not a sight I'd like to see. I wouldn't go up against Blaquenyte's Dark Elves, nor his High Elves, willingly. But nonetheless, here we are. We have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark on the Black Dragon, of course, with no surprise, just Soul Stealer, 2 double Medusa. Now this is I feel for the greenskin player here, Tidus, because double Medusa, those uninformed or uneducated, they're fantastic now, and double Medusa is very frustrating and deadly. Super hard to deal with unless you expect it and bring the right tools for it. They can be squishy in melee, or rather, if they get surrounded, they can be dragged down. And as Greenskins, you do have quite a bit of tools for that, but it just requires some slip-ups on the Dark Elf side. You can force engagements with as the Greenskins, but most of the time the Dark Elf player is going to be watching out for that. But yeah, those guys are going to be tough to deal with. We do have some Cold One Knights on both flanks with some Dark Rider repeater crossbows for the ranged component, aside from, of course, the Medusa. From the Greenskin side, or for the Greenskins guys, we are going to have a Night Goblin War Boss on his cute little squig mount. I love this little guy. Look at that super awesome face mask armor. Please, God, please, yeah, give us the Colossal Squig. I'm begging you, or the Squig. Squablas? I forgot what it's called. The squig artillery piece. Nonetheless, Night Goblin Warboss on the squig. No fermented fungi, which is questionable. Even the fermenter sword is okay here as well. Though obviously has pretty short range. You have to force it. The issue, but he is fast. He's got 82 speed. So if you just run him into some Kodo Knights that your Borbigans are fighting, then you can pop that Tormentor Sword and do some great work. But let's get down to the rest of the army real quick. Caster, we are going to have a River Troll Hag, Spirit Leech, Fate of Buna, of course, and Power Stone. Front line full of Savage Orc Borbigans. Pretty interesting tech we got here. They should cut through a lot of the Dark Elf infantry very quickly. I'm not sure how they do against Black Orc Corsairs. They only have 25 melee defense, so they do have 25% Fizz Res being Savage Orcs, but I'm not sure how effective that would be. But Dark Elf player brought just Dread Spears, so luckily he doesn't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about that. Goblin Archers for the back line. 3 of them in total. Wolf Rider Archers as well. For the Scar Machine, we do have some Night Goblin Squig Hoppers plus Orc Borbigans, 2 on each flank, and then the Squig Herds as well. 2 Squig Herds. Actually, it's just the 1 Orc Borbigan on the right side, and that's going to be the Broken Tusk Mob, supported by 2 Squig Herds. But let's get right into it. Medusa already getting a nasty shot. I think 2 shots on the Broken Tusk Mob, taking down 3 models, which obviously are very important. They're going to try to run away. Savage or Borbigans take a nasty shot from that Medusa again, or rather as well. They're going to try to run away because that's not an engagement they want with the Supreme Sorcerers and the Dread Spears, but might as well stick it through it at this point. Unfortunately, you're being dragged into it. Savage Borbigans pushing it into these Dread Spears. Infantry starting to engage. Another shot into that Bloodwrack Medusa, doing a nasty side shot on that Biggin. Wolf Rider Archers trying to screen out the Supreme Sorcerers, do a little damage. Would have liked to see that RR variant for that AP missile, but I understand why. Tight on money. Unfortunately, the Broken Tusk Mob get a nasty engagement here. Supreme Sorcerers has forced this engagement. So they weren't able to get their charge off on the Cold One Knights, which is not fantastic. And the Squig Herd, which I believe are large targets, yes, I'm not going to love fighting against the anti-large of the Cold One Knights. Any other situation in a vacuum, the Broken Decimal would do fantastic against the Cold One Knights if they get their charge off, but again, Blaquenyte is playing this extremely well with the Sim Sorcerers, forcing that engagement, and not great. But the Greenskin player could also be doing that as well if they had a fermented fungi, which unfortunately they don't. Nonetheless, best you can do is just use those Fate of Bunus on top of these, on the Code One Knights, and just try to get those big guns on top of the Medusa, or I mean the Code One Knights as well. They have pretty decent weapon strength with 42, 13 of it being AP, and only though with also some bonus was larger than 8. So yeah, Savage Orcs are doing fairly well into these Dread Spears. Gonna wipe them out eventually. Another shot in from that Medusa into those Wolf Riders. Not gonna do. It's not gonna be great for those Wolf Riders. Trohag is running away after she gets that Fate of Unicast off. I think yes, on top of these Cold One Knights, gonna do great. But Supreme Sorceress is after her now, and this is not where she wants to be. A whole bunch of cav here for the Greenskin side, which needs to be in the fight. The fact that they aren't in the fight at this moment, or have been delayed for so long, has given the Dark Self player a lot of free movement, a lot of free ability for them to shoot with these Medusas and just basically dictate the battlefield here, because all of these units have just been not doing their job, unfortunately, which is again quite unfortunate. And again, in this moment, the Fermented Fungi would be fantastic here, rampaging the Supreme Sorcerers into say Biggins, if possible, if you had them anywhere near around, or even the Tormentor Sword, just to stop her from moving, so you can get your Troll Hag out of there. But nonetheless, Reader Crossbow is coming over, going to start getting some shots into that River Troll Hag. Might also do a little friendly fire. We'll see. Squeak Herd, the Squeak Hoppers get a nice charge in there on the Dread Spears. Goblin Archers, unfortunately, are being routed off by the Cold One Knights. A Soul Stealer hitting that Troll Hag. And also the Not Goblin War Boss, unfortunately, so that's going to be healing up that Supreme Sorceress and terror routing that River Troll Hag. So she is gone. Savage Orc begins fighting with these Cold One Knights at the moment. Would be theoretically a good fight, but the Cold One Knights can just pull out. A breath attack in from that Supreme Sorceress, hitting that Savage Orc Biggins, going pretty nice. Also reduced their melee attack down to 28. But they are unfortunately fighting both the Medusa, Cold One Knights, and being shot from the back by the Dark Riders. So it's a lot, even with the help of the War Biggins, who just actually get terrified at the moment. So they're gone. Yeah, but look, Medusa fighting in a place she doesn't want to theoretically fight, but you have 2 units blobbed up here, so that's not great. One of these units could be helping out over here, or maybe even coming around to this side, trying to fend these Cold One Knights off from these Goblin Archers. But nonetheless, sometimes you miss these things. It's just really sucks to see a blob that could be avoided. A Goblin War Boss is being dragged down by these Dread Spears. Spring Sorceress is going to come in, probably finish the deal and kill that Night Goblin War Boss if the Greenskin player isn't careful. Supreme Sorceress gets another Soul Stealer on him. He does get away though, luckily. River Troll Hag is back, going to get a rear charge on these Cold One Knights, possibly break them down to 16 leadership. They're holding pretty steadily down negative 18, so they're gone. Goblin Archer's still up, getting the shots in. Another breath attack in from that Supreme Sorceress, hitting those Squig Hoppers, and now she gets another attack in on these River Troll Hag, and that'll be spelling the end for the Greenskins. And an end for this best of 3 series. Great series to cast. Thank you to Black, for posting these in the Discord, and well played to both players, especially you, Tidus. You did tell me that you copied this build from somewhere, and you hadn't even tried it before. You didn't even know what to build in this matchup, so credit where credit is due. And it was cool seeing some Savage Orc Biggins as a front line. Black, what you got here? 1587 on the Supreme Sorceress. You know, she did Supreme Sorceress Black Dragon things. Controlled the battlefield, did great. Popping Soul Silvers. Yeah, Medusas were tough there for the Greenskin side. They really had nothing to bring that Black Medusa down, and especially after losing the only anti-large tools you had to a very early engagement. That was really tough there. But nonetheless, yeah, they just got some great shots in on the Savage Orcs. I mean, that fantastic early damage in on the Biggins. Even just terror routing Savage Orcs as well in melee combat. They did great. I mean, there's a reason people don't like playing against them right now. I don't think they're by any means like so broken to the point where like Thunderbar's level or like Soul Grinder level. I think Soul Grinders. We'll get into it another day. I think they're really tough to deal with, but they can be dealt with the right tools. It's just annoying as on the other side. So I get the complaints. But yeah, they did great there. Black, you're a you're a person for bringing those against this poor Tidus. Poor Greenskin player. 758, 670. And plus, I think they cost terror as well. So another terror causing monster to deal with for the Greenskin size to deal with. Yikes. Everything else did fine. I don't even think I saw too much of the Dark Riders shooting. Night Golem War Boss, yeah. Not expected not to get that much value. Definitely is there just for that fermented fungi and even the Tormentor Sword, but mostly the fermented fungi. So if you're gonna bring this guy, bring the fermented fungi next time, and you'll get some great utility out of him. You can force those engagements that you want. Maybe using it on the Dark Rider crossbows. Maybe even using it on with the Medusa, so you can get a good engagement with your Boar Biggins. Even just using it on some Cold One Knights, so they don't get you get the charge. Again, you get the fight you want with your Biggins or your Boar Riders. 865 on the Troll Hag. Yeah, unfortunately, she didn't have many opportunities to cast a lot of Photobunas. Just she got, I think, one good one off and then got routed off, came back, and then immediately lost. So not a lot of utility to protect them. Yeah, your anti-large tools just kind of unfortunately did not do the work. Once you lost those guys, the Cold One Knights just had free reign over the battlefield, unfortunately. Biggins did cool, did fine, I guess. They're just cutting through Dread Spears. If they were fighting up against Black Ark Corsairs, then maybe, or Bleak Swords maybe, then maybe they would have picked up more value. But again, you're just kind of chewing through chaff. It's not really worth it. They may have some utility though. I don't know. Squigs did fine. Everything else, yeah. 57 on the Squig Hoppers. Even seeing the Savage Orc War Biggins is also a great option as well, I believe, against Dark Elves. Obviously, there's so much missiles to deal with against the Dark Elves, but it's mostly armor piercing. Their armor piercing is kind of going to be melting through the Boar Biggins anyways, so might as well bring the armorless variant who have Fizz Res plus Frenzy. At least that's what I would think. Broken Dust Mopper is still fantastic, and so we're just regular Boar Biggins. I kind of just like the Savage Orc variant more in this matchup. But, up to people. It saves money. It's like 100 less for the Boar Biggins. So, either way, great match. Catch you guys next time with another Warpstone Cup. Best of three. See you guys later. Bye bye.